Hi guys, fellow collectors. My name is Keith Glenn and I am the monthly featured collector of the Batman Statue Collectors Facebook group. Thanks Chris for letting me show off my things. I've been collecting ever since I was little, mostly starting out with comic books. And then as I got older, I started collecting Hallmark keepsake ornaments. And my wife, I started buying her precious moments that she liked to display in our dining room cabinet. And then in 1998 is when I first saw Randy Bowen's mini bust stuff. And from that point, it was all downhill. I had almost every single Bowen Designs mini bust, and I've got close to 80 of Randy's full-size statues. And after that, it was Sideshow, Tweeterhead, Gentle Giant. I've got probably close to 400 statues and mini busts of all sorts of genres: cartoons, Star Wars, comics, DC and Marvel, TVs, shows. So I've been collecting for a long time. Don't have a particular certain property that I collect. It's mostly anything that's somewhat related to things that I grew up with. And that's why I say cartoons, TV shows that I liked, movies that I liked. Comic books were obviously a big factor. That's probably my largest collection is comic book related. My favorite statue that I have, and you'll see it in the video, is a commission piece of Calvin and Hobbes done by Tony Cipriano. Calvin and Hobbes is probably one of my favorite genres, or cartoons. I shouldn't say cartoon, it was more of a newspaper comic as opposed to a cartoon. And it's the only comic that has made me cry from laughing so hard. So I'll show you that here in a bit. If I was to own any piece, regardless of the price, I'd have to say it'd probably be the Bowen Designs bronze pieces, the Hulk, Spider-Man, and the Captain America. Never quite dropped the coin to get one of those. They're extremely hard to get, but if I was to get anything, that would probably be one of them. And if I was to have a company create my dream statue, it would probably be a piece from the movie Aliens. It would be Ripley carrying Newt with the flame gun. I just think that would be an awesome piece that I would love to have in my collection. Another one I would like to have in my collection would be like the Stranger Clint Eastwood from Hang 'em High. I think that would be another piece I would love to have in my collection. So without further ado, here I'm going to start the display of my statues in my man cave. So here we go. And here we are in my living room. This is a cabinet and piece of art that I have displayed in the living room. I'm going to zoom in on the artwork. This is one of my prized possessions. This is all the DC Peanuts characters portrayed as DC characters. This was drawn by my daughter, and we liked the drawing so much that we had it professionally framed, and it's now hanging over our sofa in our living room. Over here is a cabinet that I have holding various statues and Hot Toys figures. On the top, we have Breaking Bad, Walt and Jesse. Happens to be a couple of our favorite TV shows, my wife and I. Next one is Indiana Jones, Darth Vader, and Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet, which happens to be one of my favorite science fiction movies. Below that is the Adam Hughes Cover Girls of the DC Universe collection. I don't have all of them, just the ones that hold my interest and that I like. Below that is some old cartoon shows that I used to watch when I was younger. Woody Woodpecker, Bullwinkle and Rocky, Popeye, Underdog, with Simon Bar Sinister and Riff Raff. And then below that, I have Ripley from Alien, Marty from Back to the Future, and the middle piece is Calvin and Hobbes. This is a 1-in-1 piece that I had sculpted by Tony Cipriano. It's probably my one favorite piece in my whole collection. I'm a very big fan of Calvin and Hobbes, one of the few comic book characters that's actually made me cry from laughing so hard. Next to that is The Incredibles. These were the only pieces that they did on the Walt Disney Collector Club series. So I've got all the ones that they put out. And below that, Hot Toys. I've got Deadpool, Loki, Thor, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Black Widow, Red Skull, and Captain America. So from here, I'm going to take you to our family room. I've got another cabinet of some collectibles. This is a recently added display cabinet to our family room. I still got some stuff to add to it at some point. Getting closer, we got, this is QMX Captain Kirk in his chair, Spock and Leonard McCoy. To the left of that is a fairly new mini bust sculpted by Tony Cipriano, who also did the Calvin and Hobbes piece in my living room. Down here is the Stanley Lau versions of some of the DC cover girls. Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Hawkgirl. Below that, Johnny Quest and the Firefly from Johnny Quest. Next to that is a Dark Horse collection of Peanuts minifigures. And below that is Captain Picard from Star Trek Next Generation. This is the only piece that QMX currently has out. So this is sort of reserved for the Next Generation crew as they are released. And I got space below for something else. Sort of thinking some Tweeterhead stuff might look nice down there once it comes out. So from here, I'm going to take you down the stairs to the man cave. This is the stairway to my man cave. On the left, got some movie theater one sheets. First one you'll see is Indiana Jones, and there's Star Wars New Hope, and the first Terminator movie. Bottom one on the left. And on the left, or on the right, are some comic famous covers. Batman Detective, Amazing Spider-Man, Captain America, Superman, and Thor. And once we get downstairs, here's one of the first displays in the man cave. Okay, at the bottom of the man cave, this is the first part of my display. Got Alex Ross Original 7, a Jim Lee For Tomorrow piece, and then on the right is an XM Thor. It's my only XM piece. I find them a little bit too expensive for my taste. And down here we have on the left, you got Spy versus Spy, for those of you who are familiar with Mad Magazine. Again, like I said, a lot of this stuff has all got some kind of connection to my past, or things that I have a liking of. Collection of Green Lantern Omnibus. This here is Funko Mini of Hanna-Barbera Saturday morning cartoons, of which I used to get up early morning on Saturday and watch these. That's why it sort of has a soft spot in my heart for this stuff. Over here we got the NSEA Protector from Galaxy Quest. A great movie, one of my favorites. Ecto 1, Ghostbusters with Marshmallow Man. Black Beauty from Green Hornet. And then here, Johnny Bravo, Space Ghost, and the Joker and Harley Quinn. I think it's called Tango with Evil. It was originally an Alex Ross piece, and then they put it into 3D form. Down there is Mach 5 from Speed Racer, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and then Christopher Reeve's Superman, and Comic Book Guy, Playmates. I used to have all the Playmates figures, but I just really couldn't display them, so I sold them all. Made quite a killing on those too. Below that is the Calvin and Hobbes Compendium. Every single piece Bill Watterson did. Again, Calvin and Hobbes, one of my favorites. Then I have a bunch of Marvel Omnibus. And over here I've got the one on the left is Don Martin, another Mad Magazine artist. Spy versus Spy Omnibus, and then the dark blue one is Far Side. Yeah, I never looked at Far Side comics. He had a different sense of humor. I think that's probably why I liked it. Down here, I just got various art books. I got a Bruce Timm and Alex Ross and Olivia, all Betty Page work, and then Walking Dead. So that's this display cabinet. Now we're going to go actually into the man cave and look at the next one. So after we're in the man cave, so they turn left as they came down the stairs. This is sort of what you see. Most of my Sideshow stuff is in Billy bookcases. This is my art. The art's on the wall. I've got a Master Replicas Millennium Falcon. Still haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with these bestas down here. And over here are 6 Detolfs. I'm going to get 2 more to put on the end of it, and then I'm going to put them all up on stands so that they're at least 10 inches to 12 inches raised up. I hate putting statues on the floor. That's my biggest gripe with the Detolfs. So when I get the stands and I put them up 10 to 12 inches, then I'll put a top on it too, and I can put some lighting in there. But right now it's just holding the statues. So I'm gonna go over here. Let's call this my Batman corner, seeing how this is Batman Statue Collectors Facebook group. I've got the Sideshow premium format, Alex Ross, Night Over Gotham, and Jim Lee's Night Watch. Down here, I've got the Adam West Sideshow Batman. I've got Christian Bale Batman from Dark Knight, Michael Keaton Batman from Batman. The bat symbol in the middle there, it's got Bob Kane's signature. And then down the bottom is all the Adam West and Burt Ward Batman 66 stuff. Got a couple of Funko Pops, and I've got the DVD set. Over here on the right, I've got it's an 89 Batman Hot Wheels 1/8 1/18 scale die cast, a 55 Batman custom painted. My daughter commissioned a friend of mine to paint the 55 Batmobile. One below that is the Hot Wheels Super Elite Batman 66 Batmobile. There's the Bat Cycle, and then down there are some more Batman and DC collected works. Over here, I start with the Emanuela Lupacchino piece. This is Two Queens, I call it. Emanuela Lupacchino. She's a artist from Italy. She does a lot of work for DC. Look her up. I love her work. So I bought the commission piece and had her ink it. And then I had somebody I know do a digital coloring. But what's interesting is there's a Spanish magazine called Dolman. It's sort of like Wizard. They use the cover of it or they used my image for the cover for one of their issues. Over here is a Green Lantern piece by Al Rios. He's no longer with us. He did a lot of work for DC years ago. This is a Green Lantern 1/5 scale statue by Arahome. Got this from him when he was still in Brazil. And this is an Eagle Moss Green Lantern collection. Forgot to mention over here on the Batman side, here's another Eagle Moss set. Mostly Justice League and then a lot of the Batman related villains and I don't want to say sidekicks, but you know, Huntress and Robin and Hawkgirl, Batgirl, that kind of stuff. So and then so I've got the Evil Emma Frost Sideshow piece, and then down here is a bunch of Disney premium formats: Captain Hook, Evil Queen, Maleficent, and Jessica Rabbit. Continuing on, Sideshows, John Wayne, Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2, and Indiana Jones from the first Indiana Jones movie. Some more Eagle Moss, Marvel. Some more art up here. Tom Grummett, Supergirl. Artie and Syaf, Wolverine. If you know anything about Artie and Syaf, he was a great up-and-coming artist, but he screwed himself over when he started hiding political stuff in his artwork, and Marvel didn't like that, so he got fired, and now he's not, to my knowledge, working for anybody. Moving over one, here's sort of my Wolverine stuff. Got Sideshow's new Wolverine premium format and the one of the first Wolverine comiquettes, 1/5 scale. Still looks pretty nice. Two of my favorite Wolverine statues. The one in the middle is a Ramos style Wolverine from Civil War, done by an artist by the name of Chuko. I think that's his last name. It was limited edition, like 1 of 50. Got Ramos's signature on it and the artist Chuko. A couple of Wolverine commission pieces I've had done. And then down here, Captain Jack Sparrow with an empty space for Aspen from Sideshow. The one I got was damaged, so now I'm just waiting for the replacement piece. And then next to that, got another Wolverine and Green Lantern. These are sort of my two favorite pieces. Drawn by Ron Lim, inked by Mark McKenna. Vampirella premium format. Pop Culture Shock He-Man. And then down here I've got Lady Death in the 3rd edition of Red Sonja. Probably my favorite of the three. I know it's a matter of taste, but this is the one I like. And over here I've got a clock made out of an old vinyl LP album, The Avengers. My daughter bought that for me for birthday. And I got giant size X-Men CGC rated comic. Continuing, here in the middle of my man cave, I've got the Master Replicas Millennium Falcon. Probably one of my, next to my Calvin and Hobbes Tony Cipriano piece, one of my favorites. And then over here is the Tweeterhead Batman 66 and Wonder Woman set. This is the Wonder Woman Season 2 maquette, Tweeterhead, Batman and Robin, Adam Westburt Ward, Yvonne Craig, Batgirl, Frank Gorshin, Riddler, Vincent Price, Egghead, Julie Newmar, Catwoman, and Cesar Romero, Joker. Got space down below for other things. Probably the rest of the Tweeterhead Batman 66, and when I raise this thing up higher, I'll have something else that'll go down the bottom. Over here on this wall is my Star Wars dedication. It's mostly a combination of Gentle Giant and Hot Toys. So over here I got the Luke, Cloud City, and then these up here are all Gentle Giant, Darth Vader, and this monster's name escapes me at the moment. Sand Trooper on Dewback and Sand Person on shoot. Well, you know. These are mostly Hot Toys across the top. And I'm mostly a original trilogy fan. The prequels didn't do anything for me, nor did The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. Down here on the bottom, I've got space. I actually started doing the Lego things. The Legos are sort of cool. Got a Lego Y-Wing. Then over here, I've got the Carbonite Han from Hot Toys. Han and Luke Stormtrooper disguise. Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin. Up here I've got the Rogue One. Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie. I know a lot don't agree, but it's my favorite. Force Awakens, this is about all I could get to support that movie. The old Han, Rey and BB-8 and Kylo Ren. And down here is reserved for the Emperor's throne. I got two of the Royal Guards waiting to flank him as soon as the throne comes in. Over here, Tweeterhead, Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. This is Mandy. For those of you old enough to have read Playboy, you would know that Dean Yeagle did a page in every issue of Mandy. So, takes me back. They're cute, sexy. What else would a guy want in his statue collection? Down here, another Tweeterhead, Elvira. I remember being 15, 16 and watching Saturday Night Horror with Elvira coming up on the commercials. The Vampirella, it's a piece done by C.S. Moore. I can't remember the sculptor name. It's something like Yakamura or something like that is the sculptor for that piece. So Bowen is probably one of my favorite sculptors, or at least sculpting companies. I love his work. Here's the Juggernaut, Action Thor, and Cable on Sentinel Head. To my knowledge, nobody has come as close to making the characters look as close to the comic books as Bowen did. So here's one of my Bowen display shelves. This is my X-Men one. To say that the Jubilee, I've always wanted a Jubilee. That's done by Icebreaker Designs. Got 4 golden retrievers. One's Jubilee, one's Domino, and one is Mystique. That's why I wanted a Jubilee statue. And here in the middle, Sideshow Trinity. And I got the Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Batman. I've been pretty happy with this Superman statue. Nothing's come out that's made me want to spend more money to get another one, so I'm happy with that one. And then over here, another couple display cabinets of Bowen statues. Mostly Iron Man up here, some more miscellaneous X-Men characters, Marvel characters. And then down here is Avengers stuff. And over here on the top, Marvel heroes, villains, and mostly all here Spider-Man villains. So when I'm sitting here watching the movies, this is what I see. Over here on this side, got a Jim Lee Heroes piece. Master Replica Studio Scale Enterprise. And to the left, got a set of Bestas here. Green Lantern. The one on the right is the DC premium format, and the lantern is a DC Direct lantern. What's interesting is that ring will light up the lantern, but nothing else does. So I guess it's got one of those RFID chips or something. Sort of cool. I've tried everything. Only the ring lights it up. The Green Lantern on the left, that's from Halamaw, 1 of 20. It's got a light up ring and a lantern. Looks pretty cool. The Green Lantern piece behind it is an Alex Ross mythology piece. In the middle, Hot Toys, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Batman. Below is the Sideshow Aquaman. I know the modern version looks pretty cool, but I've just always been a classic guy, so I didn't go for the exclusive. Up above here is another Tweeterhead set, The Monsters. Another show I used to watch. I still have all the set. I have the DVD set of all the shows. I even got the Cars, Dragula, and the Munsters coach. I even found a place that sells the house. And I think I might be able to put it up there in that upper left-hand corner. But on this corner, something I found at the Denver Comic-Con. It made me laugh. It's called Try This You Must. It's Yoda handing Kermit the Frog a doob. Very funny. And then they ended up here buying, this is all my DVDs and Blu-rays. And in the middle, I've got the J. Scott Campbell Mermaid. Tinkerbell will probably go right next to it. And then on the left, Betty Page. And then the minibus is also a Betty Page. If any of you know who Betty Page is, she was featured a lot in Playboy, but she was also one of the first major pinup models. During World War II, they used to use her a lot in painting on the front of the bombers. They would have a picture of Betty Page on there. The one in the middle, the black and white one, that is Femlin. That's also a Playboy reference. She used to be on multiple pages, very small. They would hide her in the magazine. You'd have to find them on the page. She'd be in different poses, of course, provocative poses. And then the one next to it is Sinful Lady by Gary Ham. I saw this online years ago and it looked pretty cool, so I bought it. So anywho, that is looking back. This is my man cave. I want to thank Chris for offering to let me shoot my video for the monthly featured collector thing. And we'll see who's on next year or next month. Take it easy. This is The Hobbit, number 3 Bagshot Row, signing off.